Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview. I'm Ella, and today we're taking a look at Fox Matters, which is a 1 to 5 player game for ages 12 and up and takes roughly 45 minutes to play. Please remember, this is a paid promotion and everything you see here is in prototype form. In Fox Matters, you, possibly with the help of some friends, will be working together as a team of adorable fox knights to defend the kingdom against all manner of problems and a dreaded nightmare. Setup is really easy, and the game board sort of guides you through it. On the board, you lay out 5 complicated problems face down and 6 common problems face up. And don't forget the dreaded nightmare card. All the extra complicated problems and nightmare cards can go back into the box to make your next games feel different. All other card decks get put in their spots and the tokens put into piles, and the first complicated problem can be revealed and placed in the column below it. Then everyone takes their Fox Knight boards, some relief cards, and of course the Fox Knights themselves, each with their own abilities. I call dibs on the Fox Witch. You will play over 6 rounds, and each round you and your team will usually have 6 common problems and 1 complicated problem to deal with, or a nightmare in the final round. Each round will start by discussing with your team what you plan on doing this round. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see your new relief cards yet, but you can still assign your foxes and allocate any other cards you might have to the problems like leftover cards from previous rounds. In order to resolve the problems, your team needs to allocate cards with enough relief symbols of the correct types. For example, the Nightmare Sandwich complicated problem requires a total of 6 relief symbols, and there must be at least 2 yellow crowns and 2 blue boats among them. To make things harder, you can't just place any cards in a problem. Instead, the previous card tells you what types of relief symbols you are allowed to place afterwards. Luckily, a fox allocated to a problem counts as an all-important resource. They can be a real lifesaver. Once all of your planning is done, the exciting part can begin. After starting a 2-minute timer, your team can look at your cards and start to place them onto the board to try and resolve the problems. You don't have to play all of your cards, but you can if you need to. You can also move any cards around as needed, but once the timer is up, everything is stuck. Then all of the problems that you successfully resolve with the correct relief symbols get discarded, but any problems you didn't resolve get a fear token. And this is on top of every column getting a new common problem and 1 column getting a new complicated problem card as well. Luckily, you get to keep any cards that didn't fully resolve the problem so that they can be used next round. If any column needs to take a 3rd fear token, or you can't resolve the nightmare in the final round, your team loses. So if needed, you can turn fear tokens over at the start of a round to make that column harder, but let you clear the fear token as well as the problem cards. One of the most interesting parts of Fox Matters is that each individual fox has their own power to use. Whenever a problem with a fox assigned to it is resolved, the fox earns a cheese token that they can spend to activate their ability. For example, my Fox Witch lets me take one of these foxes that appear along the top each round as we tackle the problems. These fox cards have even more relief symbols on them, or even wild symbols, and give more options for the next card played. I could also use my Fox Witch power to recruit a Grey Tail, which counts as 3 relief symbols, and lets you play anything after it, but must be played first because it doesn't actually have any specific relief symbols on it. Someone with a Fox Thief could spend a cheese token to completely remove a common problem from the board, as long as it has another problem attached, making it much easier to resolve. There are 5 different Fox and Vixen powers to choose from each game, and they are adorable versions of each. Fox Matters is a lovely co-op game that requires real-time communication and cooperation. If you like games like that, then Fox Matters would be worth checking out. I leave that for you to decide. Again, this is Ella. See you next time.